the power. Experience the excitement. You're in the driver's seat. At Skip Barber, you learn from the best. Whether you are a new driver that wants to learn accident avoidance or a seasoned racer looking to improve, we have a program for you. We're your #1 destination for auto racing and driving schools. Skip Barber. Feel the power.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. I'm Jonathan Green, alongside me Ben Sissel, and we are looking forward to some more action from this Vintage Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio, all part of SpeedTour. It's been a lovely weekend, but the winds, they are closing in, and so are the clouds. But we have more racing for you, and it's in the form of SVRA. Ben, we're not going to get any rain, are we?
I hope not. No, that's Dan Cowdery there. 2 thumbs up from Dan Cowdery. He is all the way from California, was with us last weekend at Indy, had a great race with Jimmy Vasser in this Group 2. And then that's Eric Inkrot there in Winkleman. And you'll notice there are a few Winklemans in this group. Also from California, also from the West Coast, but I believe maybe Nevada or Arizona. That is Kim Jong. 1986 Swift DB1FF. She was also with us at Indy and has found a lot of speed here at Mid-Ohio. Then a big gap there to Kim Madrid. So far, every person on our grid is from California or the West Coast. There's Kim Madrid. Her daughter Dana there in the background with the mohawk as Kim and the helmet. You'll see the Deadhead sticker on the side of there it is.
That's not a Cadillac?
That's not a Cadillac, no.
I saw a Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac.
Yeah. So did Don Henley. Tom Linton in a 1969 Winkleman WDF1.
That's not a vintage car.
Now this person, Eric Wisniewski, you've got the news on him, right?
I do. He's 14. He's a great kid. He's from Michigan. He is a junior development driver. He's not old enough to do Formula 4 yet, so he's getting his experience down. Tony Perella has given him a dispensation to race in SVRA, and that's how he's out there, but he's getting a lot of experience, and he's a good kid.
That's the 73 of Michael Spence. Look at this beautiful car. I was noticing this one in the paddock. That is that's a Ralph Zaponchik in an Lexus MK14 from 1968. Bob Hatley, usually at the front of these grids, but didn't finish yesterday. So you're going to see Bob Hatley from California move up to the front. He had a great race here a couple years ago. And then the number 82 of John Bush, 1967 Group 2 Formula B starting in the back. So he must not have finished yesterday either. But we have a lot of drivers here that drove to Indy from the West Coast, and they thought for twofer. We were at Indy last weekend. Might as well go on to Mid-Ohio, and these Formula Fords love Mid-Ohio. It's a great momentum track, very intricate and technical. So there should be some really good racing here. And Dan Cowdery looks like right now none of the other Formula Bs stuck around. So looks like he's going to take them out with the Fords. That is green grass here at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It's great that it's so lush here, but boy, it can be a real pain if you get off on the grass because there's no, it's too easy. If you get it wrong here at Mid-Ohio, you're in that grass and you're collecting it.
So let's do a little trivia here while we're sitting here.
Oh.
We talked about the Deadhead sticker on the Cadillac.
Yep.
What is the name of the song? For our comments on YouTube, who can tell me the name of the song that line is from?
I know.
Oh, our producer knows.
Our producer knows.
That is.
Yeah, he's absolutely right.
But the comments don't know.
He went to Anfield and saw them play.
But don't tell us who yet, because we don't have any comments yet.
Wow. That's
pretty
cool.
cool.
I've seen them play. The question is, are the Eagles as good as they were without Glenn Fry? And I think the answer is yes, because Fry Jr. is in the band.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. All right, look at that. Dan Cowdery.
Oh, whoops. I saw her dead head stick on a Cadillac.
Boys of Summer, first one in from Shopcat Industries.
There you go. Well done.
And then Elliot Stevens right behind. And then somebody else put Tiptoe Through the Tulips. No,
Manxie from the Isle of Man. Boatless Manxie's just written in.
Tiptoe Through the Tulips? What's the guy with the ukulele? Now I can't think of his name.
Yeah, that's a good.
We're not singing it.
Oh, I just did a couple of, oops. The account was in my ear then. Shut up singing.
All right, so here they come. Look at that, warming up their tires. Now, Dan Cowdery up there in front in that Titan. Very fast driver, but so is Eric Inkrot. Now, Eric Inkrot raced here last year in his Crossley that he is fixing up from an off that he had at Auto Club Speedway just a few months ago with us, all the way in Fontana, California.
You know what I like about having Eric Wasinski out there right now is that you really do see the progression from 1969 of single-seater small engines all the way up to the most modern. His is a 2017 version with that Honda engine and Ligier chassis. But it shows you just how far Formula Ford and how the single-seaters have developed, doesn't it?
The evolution. But there are drivers out there that have told me that they have grandkids much older than Eric.
Yes, true.
Look at how pretty it is here at Mid-Ohio. Just outside of Lexington, Ohio, there's a lake back here. Beautiful green farmland. The sky is bluer here, and the grass is greener.
Yeah.
Especially where you're from, Austin. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. We're down a little bit too south that you don't get blue skies this time of year.
Actually, this is what England looks like, sort of spring and May before it gets hot there. But before the 2 days of summer we get in England, which, by the way, starts next week. It's Wimbledon, so we have our 2 days.
Yeah.
And the rest of there's 2 days of Wimbledon that are dry, and the rest rain, and that's summer. And everybody gets out in their tank tops, and that's it. Thunder Valley, they go through, but yeah, you're right. It's very lush and green, isn't it? It's almost like Ireland.
So unfortunately, only a few of the Formula Bs have shown up, and it's at the end there. Watch for the green car, the very last car.
Yeah.
Second to last car right now to move up front, Bob Hatley. I think a lot of the Formula Bs left because they thought there was going to be rain, and now Eric Inkrot is going to do what he can to dive bomb into Mission Foods Turn 1. I'm going to turn it over to you, Jonathan, for the start.
Here we go then, and it's going to be a run to the line as they come out of the carousel to start the race. This is our Group 2 feature race.
Oh, there he goes.
Slotting into line. Away we go then. Group 2 and Formula Development. And a good start from the Formula Development man. He's made up one place already in the number 5. That's Eric Wisinski. Wisinski. I'll get it right in a minute.
I think it's Wazinski.
Wazinski, yes. I had it right this morning. And he's about to go ahead and try and get ahead of Kim Madrid on the inside of the keyhole. And he's done that. So he's up to 4th place already. Madrid comes back at him.
He's got 2 Kims to pass. We were talking last group about all the females in motorsports. So they're in that flaming orange car. The 0 is Kim, followed by Kim Madrid. But this is Dan Cowdery, followed by Eric Inkrot, going into Franklin Road, turn 4. This is a great passing zone here.
Yeah, the top 4, you could throw a blanket over them because Wazinski's just joined them there. And now we've got a 4-way battle at the front as they leave the second group of 3 cars, which is led by Kim at the moment. Kim Madrid and the all pink, and of course the Mohawk helmet, very famous here in SVRA times.
Yeah, she's at a lot of races with us. She runs the Formula 4 Challenge out west. But right now, Dan Cowdery seems to be running a tidier line than Eric Inkrot. You can really see the difference in racing lines and closing speeds in these cars. Kim outbraking Eric there. And man, Kim has really shown us some speed from Indy. She's new to this car. This is only her second weekend in this car, and she is adjusted very quickly.
So they come to the end of the first lap. 53 of Eric Langbein in that Chevron B15.
Oh, he's not out there right now.
Oh, he isn't out.
No, it's Dan Cowdery is our leader.
Yeah, 38, yeah.
And Eric, followed by Eric Inkrot. So it's Dan Cowdery, Eric Inkrot, then Kim in the 0. Then Wisniewski, Eric Wisniewski there in fourth place. So there's
9, so he's done well to be up that far in just a very short space of time. He had a really good start, and now he's going for third. Down the back straight, using the power of the more modern car. And his next combatant will be this lady here, Kim Madrid.
No, Kim Madrid's behind him. So he's in third place behind Dan. Oh, and there's Bob Hatley passing Kim Madrid going into Franklin.
Hatley.
Franklin Road, turn 4. Bob Hatley and Kim Madrid carpooled out here from Southern California. Bob Hatley won our Court of Lucas Oil at driver's meeting because he drove the farthest to be here. He's in that green car just ahead of Kim Madrid. And some little bit of drifting happening there, but they are really close friends, and Kim knew he was coming.
Starting to spread out already in this one. Cowdery, Inkrot, and Tejong. Is that how you pronounce it?
You know, I'm not sure.
Keep Tejong.
I'd say Chong.
Chong, yeah.
Chong?
Tejong.
I'm not sure. Kim, I'm going to ask you that, though. I want to find that out. There's Bob Hatley. Oceanside, California.
Interesting nose to that, isn't it?
Yeah, very aerodynamic. Big advantage aerodynamically over that Crossley, and then that Winkleman there of Linton's very pretty car, and that came out with Jens all the way from Arizona. So we've got all these drivers here, and none of them are from the Midwest. At Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. There's the number 28, Bruce Domick, Lola T342. Big, huge air snorkel on that car. I love these shots where you can see their front suspensions giving as they come up into this little weird off-cambered keyhole turn.
Michael Spence in that Crossley 20F.
Uh-oh, look at this. Good draft from Linton over Kim Madrid, and that Winkleman thinks a little bit better of it. Knows that Kim Madrid likes to late break anybody, but he's looking inside now, has the advantage.
Should do. Oh,
and
she's still in
now
there.
She has the advantage.
Girl. And she's lost out finally.
See. Yep.
I like that progression from 4 to 5. It's really neat. Cowdery still leading then. Titan Mark 6.
Look at them slide through the Optima Batteries carousel turn here at Mid-Ohio. Nice. The tires just fight for grip. That line at Mid-Ohio is just so polished from years and years of wear. Oh, it looks like Wisniewski is the new leader.
Yeah.
So from 9th to 1st.
That's pretty impressive. Now he has got the more modern car, but he is just a kid.
And he's
learning his way.
He's got the downforce as well. And
I told him to go out and win after doing the commentary with me. And yes, he has got the advantage of the downforce. And probably a newer engine, obviously.
Oh, you hear the tires just fighting for grip.
Yeah, you can hear the squeal, can't you? So simple, that design, isn't it, with the suspension? But so effective.
Who is the camera person at Camera One that's getting this backstretch?
That's Gorgeous George.
That is a steady hand on that person. That was a good shot there coming through that back straight at speed like that. That's the number 73 of Michael Spence, 1972 Crossley 20F. We're getting some beautiful images here from the green light camera persons all around the track. So that's George there?
I think so.
Good job, George.
Yeah, George, our senior cameraman, he's been with us for, what, 40, 50 years now?
Since black and white. Here they come around the Optima Batteries carousel turn. This is probably the best battle right now in the field. They get a little bit slight there. You can see the different patches of asphalt as they cross the start-finish line coming into Mission Foods turn 1. Here's that car we were talking about. Beautiful car. Ralph Zaponchik. And that is a 1968 Lexus MK14. The little brake light. So what's your favorite in this one, Jonathan?
You know, I'm just trying to work that out, to be honest. I like the Crossley. And like I said, what I'm really enjoying is seeing the progression of cars through the years. You know, from Swift, you've got a Brabham out there. Can never beat a Brabham. And we had our own Matthew Brabham winning here this weekend in a TA car.
And a karaoke contest.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he won the karaoke
contest
contest at Tito's with the song Stroke It.
Oh, my word.
Beating Chris Dyson.
That's, well,
yeah, so
I would never had him pegged for a big singer, Chris Dyson.
That is a beautiful car. I love the red nose on that car. Matching his helmet. And Dan Cowdery and Eric Inkrod are really giving a good show in second place overall.
Yeah, the field pretty spread out now as we look at the 71A. Lexus Mark 14. Yeah, I agree with you. I like that. I like the blue and the red together like that. So simple, these early versions of single-seater racers. And Wisniewski is pulling away now. He's got a 14-second lead, so he's off and running. And I think he's going to have a pretty good start to his F4 career next year with the J. Howard development team. He's got an engineer from the team working with him now in SVRA, and that always bodes well because you're learning all the time then. Back to the 82.
That Formula 2 of John Bush, 1967 Brabham BT.
Yeah, that's my favorite. The Brabham. It's got to be. Look, it's a classic Brabham. You know that's a Brabham.
And I love the way the Formula Bs look as he comes around Mission Foods turn 1. It's a beautiful car. Look at the air cleaners there on the side. You can see the Guibos holding those rear axles down. His Hans device just barely blowing in the wind. It looks a little bit offset there. That is a beautiful car.
Look at Lake. That's our man at the keyhole.
Oh, he's getting some good shots, too. You heard us say that about George. He's like, all right, look at this one. But now George is like, look at this one, guys.
Well, Lake's our bike expert as well as car expert, so he knows what he's doing. He can follow anything at speed.
But that's a tough shot there. That pan at different speeds to the right. George, it's good stuff.
And into the dog leg where Ron is.
Uh-oh. Eric Wisniewski coming up on a Formula B. Let's see if the DRS zone opens up for him. That's what I keep looking for.
Now, how does he play this? Nicely done.
Very well, yep. And I think that was John Bush saw him coming in his mirrors. Eric Wisniewski made sure there was a safe place to pass, and there they go. Nice job by both drivers.
Yeah, and he's cut some nice lines. You can see it from over above, from the drone.
Got a little squirrely there coming into Optima Batteries.
He's struggling with the carousel. I've noticed that. That's not the first time he's done that.
That's how you learn.
Exactly. And here is the leader. Nice and smooth through turn 1, using the wheel, fighting it just a little bit to keep it all together. he was telling me about there. Whoa.
Come on, hold on, Eric. He's giving it everything.
He is. He's trying hard. He was telling me about the fact that he's just going to be a freshman in high school next year. So that's a good story for those in his class, isn't it?
Yeah.
What did you do this weekend? I was at Mid-Ohio, thrashing around.
You can really see the downforce on that one.
Yeah, and if you listen in, you can hear how he's using the gearbox and how much he's getting out of the car. You can tell he's learning. Still fighting it a little bit. Smooth is fast, as they always say. Little Al was here earlier, and that's exactly what he was saying.
We've had a lot of changes, though, for the lead in the vintage side. Dan Cowdery and Eric Inkrot keep changing back and forth. So Dan Cowdery is in the yellow car. Eric Inkrot is in the Winkleman.
That was better at the carousel for Eric. But either way, he's pulling away. He's 24 seconds up the road now. That's really good, impressive. I said to him he had to go and win the race after doing his commentary this morning, and he's doing just that.
There he is. There's Eric Inkrot holding it back right behind Dan Cowdery. This is going to be the race to watch.
Swinging that car
This is for
around.
first place. So that's Dan Cowdery in the yellow car. That's a Titan MK6. Eric Inkrot in the 1969 Winkleman WDF1. This is the race to watch. Look at his suspension unload there as they come over.
And they're both pushing on, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Really impressive.
Passing a Formula B. Now Eric's going to try to get behind him through this Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers keyhole. Dan got it a little bit wrong there, hung up his right. Now if he can get behind him in the draft, he might have something here.
Don't think he's close enough, but he might be getting there by the end of the straight. He's looking in his mirror to see if anybody else has
got less
coming.
air on him. Look at the smile on the front of that Winkleman. These are two of our best Formula Ford racers just sliding through Franklin Road Apparel Turn 4. Both from the West Coast out here racing in Mid-Ohio on these polished line pavement.
Yeah, no question the 42 is really pushing that car.
Yeah.
Sliding it at every chance. And let's see what he does through front of the valley. Not a place you want to slide, really.
His sponsor is here watching, Eric Inkrot's. So he's better behaved.
Now watch him through the carousel. This is where he really lays it down on this right-hander coming up. Here we go.
And if you're watching vintage racing for the first time, that was a joke. His wife is a CPA, and she is his sponsor. Her sticker's on the side.
I see.
Yeah. So she came out with him, and she sponsors his racing efforts by putting her sticker on the side and doing his taxes.
Yes.
Look at that. Using all of the track, this is going to be a good finish to this race.
Yeah, he's not holding back now. He's got a chance to win this one. And
Dan Cowdery moves his head to the right. Lots of G-force, lots of balance. He gets that one better than he did the last time, but Eric Inkrot really seems to be charging.
Got a lap to do it. One more lap after this. Great battle for first and second. Wisniewski is up the road by some 30 seconds, but Cowdery and Inkrot going for those podium spots.
Oh, lap traffic ahead.
Yep.
This could get interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
At the worst part of the track, too.
Yeah, this is a tough place.
One of them's through. Is the other?
No.
Yes, just.
Good driving there by Ralph Zaponchik in that 68 Alexa. Seeing what was coming up behind him. This battle's been going on the whole day as well. And there's Eric Wisniewski behind these two cars. Ooh, that's close, gentlemen, going into the keyhole.
Yep, and they're giving him the signal of pass on that side. That's what he's done there. And Eric duly does. Nicely done by the youngster.
Okay, we're on the final lap. I saw. Oh, look at this.
Here
Eric
we go.
Ingrot looking inside. Big Machine Vodka, spike cooler, keyhole turns, got the inside. Dan Cowdery sees him. Jonathan, what do you think of that pass?
That was perfect. That's a keyhole classic. That's brilliant stuff for the lead as well. Now, can the yellow and green come back at him down the back straight and into the Franklin and
He's
Road
got the
Apparel
line.
corner, and he's done it. What a ding-dong battle this is. And he's going for it again. Go on.
Oh, that's sliding through Franklin Road Turn 4.
Great stuff. Well, Wisniewski is going to take the checkered flag and a win. The former development driver for Jay Howard.
Yeah, congratulations, Eric Wisniewski, but it's not over. This is the vintage side of the racing here with Dan Cowdery and Eric Ingrot.
And who's going to finish on the podium in second? Well, he's done it after getting back the lead. He's holding it for now. Ooh. Time running out, though.
Here it is, last
into the
corner.
carousel. Oh, dangerously close. But great racing to finish it off.
Nice. I got to give it up. That's great racing from Dan Cowdery, but Eric Ingrot, way to not collect everybody there at turn 13. I saw you get hard on the binders and not hit both of you out. I'm sure Sarah's happy about that too. And look at them. These are good friends, and they just had the time of their life.
Yeah,
and that's
you
what
could tell they enjoyed
SVRA is all about. Really, we all consider, all the SVRA employees consider ourselves to be in the hospitality industry. And that right there, what you're seeing, is exactly what we're looking for. That's going to be something they'll talk about for years.
Yeah, oh, no question about it. Certainly in the bar tonight and over the meal.
That was awesome. Eric Ingrot, Dan Cowdery, Kim, nice job.
And remember the name, Eric Wisniewski from Michigan. Winner of this race, and he'll be in F4 next season for the Jay Howard development team. And so with that conclusion, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more action to come. Don't forget, we've got some great single-seater action to come as well as we look at both the F4 and FR America's Championship. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
Welcome back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. The clouds are coming in, but I'm glad to say we've had no rain so far. Was anticipated, but it hasn't actually shown up. As we look ahead now to our next race on the calendar, and that is Formula 4 for the USA. And this is where most of the young superstars of up-and-coming American racing start their quest to become an IndyCar driver, an FIA Formula 1 driver, or just basically a professional racing driver. It all starts here after maybe doing a little bit of karting, a little bit of sim racing, and then you finally get the chance to do the real thing in F4. Now, we are getting ready for their third race of the weekend, and we've had some good racing so far from them. Ben Sissel is standing by, and he is going to take us through what we're about to see as we get ready for our competitors in F4. Down to you, Ben.
Hey, welcome to the grid here at F4 U.S. Championships. We're here with points leader and last race winner Lockie Hughes, all the way from the Gold Coast of Australia, here racing with us at Mid-Ohio. But first, I want to explain what F4 is. If you have a son or a daughter that's currently in racing, mostly karts, F4 is designed perfectly for driver development. And I know this firsthand because I've been to Scott Goodyear and Jeff Luckrich, their drivers meeting, everything that he does. Scott Goodyear, if you know anything about Scott Goodyear, ex-IndyCar racer, IndyCar announcer, he's very detail-oriented, and everything is to develop these drivers into what they call the ladder system. Then it goes from F4 into FR Americas, which is the F3-based chassis, both Ligier chassis. But this is the F4. You're going to see a little bit of ground effects, a little bit of ground force and wings on the front, no brake ducting. It's a little bit smaller tires, but it is the Honda K20 engine, the same engine that was in my Civic Type R, non-turboed in these F4 cars, and a little smaller wing back here with some ground effects. But we're going to talk to Lockie Hughes, because Lockie, coming here, racing all the way from the Gold Coast of Australia, what does the F4 series mean to you as far as driver development goes?
I think it's a great series. Obviously, it's a great first stepping stone, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Nice. And doing a very good job, I might add. He won at NOLA with us in the first round. He won today in the earlier race, did really well at Road America. But we'll walk up. We have 22 cars in this, and the great thing about F4, they can race really close. The aero packages in this don't give the kind of wash that most ground effect cars and wings and slick cars give. So you're going to see really close racing. Jason Alder's in the booth. He did really well with us in F4 last year. He's going to be able to explain how you can draft on these long straights here at Mid-Ohio. Bryson Morris won the first race here with us, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee area, a really good driver. He had his first race win with us last year in Brainerd, Minnesota. And so I'm going to give it to Jonathan to introduce Jason Alder, and then Jason Alder, you're going to be our resident official on the F4 platform because you did so well with us last year. So, gentlemen, I'm going to you.
You know, I've got a feeling he's not going to be scared of that mantle because, yes, he does know a little thing about Formula 4. He knows about half, if not most, of the paddock in Formula 4 currently. And he, of course, will be racing later this afternoon in the FR Americas. And that's the progression. Jason, what did F4 mean to you when you took it on?
Oh my goodness, F4 was incredible for my development as a road course driver. It's essentially the best stepping stone that you can really be a part of, especially early on in that career, being the first, kind of step outside of go-karts. So a lot of these drivers were in their first year of F4, some of them are in their second year, but there was a whole lot of talent across the board.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm sure there's a lot of people tuning in, maybe some dads and some kids, wondering, well, what kind of qualifications do you need to be able to drive one of these things, and what could help you get to a point where you could do it well?
to be honest, there's not that much requirements for being an F4 driver. However, it is very beneficial to have a lot of karting experience as a background. It is a good foundation that you can use to go from that karts to cars, kind of career, especially those 2 strokes, things like that, because these cars do have a good bit of torque, and it's very important to get that power down out of those corners.
And I guess working on a sim and learning the tracks, that's another key, and you can do that without a lot of money and a lot of testing time. It's an expensive sport, as we all know, but now there are cheaper ways of learning the way to racecraft. Have you done sim racing?
I have. A lot of sim racing.
Getting good?
I'd like to be better. It's very difficult, honestly. There's a lot of things that you can learn in the sim for real life, and there's also a lot of things that you learn in real life that you can use in the sim. It's kind of a balance of both. They help sharpen each other.
So tell me about your season so far in FR. You've got another race today, but let's go back to NOLA and Road America, and now here at Mid-Ohio. How's it going?
I feel like we've made steady progress throughout the whole course of the season, kind of itching our way towards the front of the pack. Typically Raul, who has been pretty much fairly dominant all season long. I know at NOLA we started off around a second to a second and a half back, but we've just been cracking away at that, and I think this weekend we've been closer than ever, with the exception of that last race. But I am super confident for race 3. I think that we're going to have a good race car for the event, and I think we can do some damage from 4th place on the grid.
Now, we've met before. I know your parents. I've known you pretty long now. And what is your ambition? Tell the folks what you hope to gain out of this sport.
I would love to be an IndyCar driver, an F1 driver, a NASCAR driver, even pretty much anything at that top level. I would love to make it to the end. It's been a dream of mine since I was a young boy, maybe when I was 4 years old or something like that.
I was going to say, that's my next question. What gave you the bug? How did you get into it?
Oh, man. My dad, actually. So I just to give a little bit of background, I do not come from a family in racing whatsoever. My dad was a little bit of a NASCAR fan, but just casual at that, so we really didn't do much. But we ended up finding a go-kart in a yard sale many years ago, and we ended up buying it and fixing it up together. And we took it to the elementary school parking lot, and at first I was scared to the death of the thing, but I soon fell in love with it and popped the question on my dad, Dad, I want to race cars one day.
That's awesome, and I bet you had that sinking feeling of how the heck am I going to afford that?
Oh, my goodness, we had no idea what we were getting into.
Well, I'm going to talk to you some more about your career and some of the sponsors. You've got some unique sponsors that you're involved in, including some, is it diabetes that you have a foundation with?
Yes, my eldest sister, Jessica, has type 1 diabetes.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you've got that as part of what you're doing as well to help her and awareness of that situation. There's our drone base right by our commentary booth, doing a heck of a job from high above. They have trouble landing the damn thing, though. They're doing point prizes to try and land it in these winds, but they're doing all right. Anyway, Formula 4 United States Championship. It's round 9 of the series, and in pole position it is the championship leader from the Gold Coast. You just heard from him there, and that is Lockie Hughes. Do you know him?
I have not had the pleasure of meeting Lockie. He is one of those few drivers out there that I have not made the pleasure of meeting yet. But he has done an incredible job all season long as a rookie. It's his first year, and here he is leading the championship and coming off a fresh race win.
Now, what happens here for the 53? Because he's way out of his pit box. And how did he get there, I wonder?
That is not good. I don't know. But I guess as long as he's behind the line, I don't know if race control would have a problem with that.
It'll be interesting to see if he gets to start from there. That's not where you want to be at all. It's a long way back on the grid, but let's see. I think they might roll them around again. Yeah, they will. Well, that does give me a chance. First and foremost, tell the guys how you get your sponsorship and tell us a little bit about your unique sponsor or your unique foundation in terms of watching diabetes.
So a couple of years ago, that's when I had the pleasure of meeting Brent and Lacey Cool from Drive for Diabetes Awareness. It was at a Legends car race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and they were handing out these pamphlets raising awareness for diabetes, and this instantly struck a heartstring with me and my dad at the time, as my sister has type 1 diabetes, and we didn't really do much then, back in 2019, but as the years have progressed, and here we are now in Formula Regional, there was a massive opportunity for both of us to kind of work with each other, for me to spread awareness about diabetes, as I'm so passionate about doing so, and for them as well, because they're huge race fans at heart, and they have an awesome setup here at the racetrack that they bring. They were at NOLA as well, and they couldn't make it to Road America, but they have a great setup. So for anyone who's in the stands or around in the paddock, please stop by the trailer, talk to Lacey, talk to Brent, they'll talk your ear off.
Now, I just heard that from race control, this will be a rolling start now. Does that help? Would you prefer a rolling or a standing start?
I am very familiar with rolling starts. That's what we did for a couple of years back in the Bandolero and Legend car days. So I knew that when I had to do a rolling start earlier this morning, I was very excited to do that, and we had a good start off of that. So I think that this is going to be a pretty good opportunity to see some of these drivers adapt, as some of them may have never done a rolling start before.
Yeah, just to repeat that, we'll have a rolling start here instead of the standing start, as you saw. Car number 53 that's just gone through shot. That's Alan Isambard had a problem on the start there, and now they've decided to keep them going because obviously the main reason for that, if I'm right, is probably the clutches. You don't want to mess with these clutches too much, and if you do too many standing starts, you can kind of burn out the clutch, right?
That actually happened to me here last year. After the start, my clutch actually welded itself together after the first or second lap, and we came in for a red flag, and I could not come to a stop in the pit lane. We ended up DNFing in that race. So that was a very unfortunate incident, but here we are. It looks like the cars are getting in their 2x2 lane in turn 11 and 12. I'm excited to see this start.
And that's going to be tough, though, for Lockie Hughes, because he's got Noah Ping, who's a very experienced driver himself, and he will be on the race line. It's ironic that the pole position is on the inside, which is an advantage, but it is the dirty side of the track here at Mid-Ohio. And so Noah Ping will be thinking to himself, you know what? I've got a chance here to take the lead. Here we go, then. Out of the carousel. Race 3, Formula 4 Americas from Mid-Ohio. Jason Alder and Jonathan Green bringing you the action here as away we go, and it's a good start from the pole man, Lockie Hughes. Hughes on the inside, on the right-hand side for James, for Howard Development, and he got a good start, but here comes Noah Ping. But Ping hits the dirt for a moment, so does the number 2. And not a good start from Westling there, but he gathers it back together. Here comes Ping on the outside now. Neck and neck as they head into the keyhole. Great racing. Just with a nose ahead, just is Hughes. Now, can he make it? Who's going to make it to the turn 4 first, do you think, Jason?
Oh, it's looking pretty close. I think Noah Ping might have a wing out in front at the moment, but it's essentially a drag race to the finish.
Here we go then, down towards the famous turn 4, and it is the pole man, Lockie Hughes, who's going to hold it into that turn 4 and take the... Oh, no! He's hit the grass, and that is disaster for the Australian. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
I've heard a down under, but that was an up and over. What on earth happened? He just touched the grass. Simple mistake, but that's how easy it can go wrong in motor racing.
I can't recall seeing any kind of contact between the car of Noah Ping and Lockie Hughes, but I can't imagine that Lockie is very happy right now.
Absolutely not. We'll see if we can have another look at that, and I want you, Jason, to see what you see when we see it in slow-mo. But that is disaster. Right from the get-go, leading the race in a great position to take this one out, and he's just gone nowhere, and he's right at the back now. Bryson Morris picking up second place behind the VRD driver as they come through the carousel again.
Looks like Noah Ping had a little bit of a wobble in turn 12 there. Let's see if Bryson Morris can capitalize on that and get a good run through turn 1, maybe a pass in turn 2, or maybe into turn 4. I guess we'll have to see.
Well, everybody else nice and clean through the field, but Lockie Hughes, the championship leader. And by the way, the championship is very much on a knife edge at the moment because there's plenty of guys all chasing down and a lot of races still to come. I believe the championship finishes at COTA later in the year, am I right?
That is correct.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it, Jason, because it was a strange incident because we don't often see accidents there, and really, whether he actually had a touch or not, we'll find out. Jason, take a look at the incident just a moment ago. Side by side here, Ping on the right-hand side, but here comes your leader, Hughes. What happens?
Oh, I don't see any contact until after Lockie was already kind of in a spin there. I would say that the 6 just maybe carried it a little bit too hot, maybe a little too deep on the brakes.
I think he was anticipating Ping making the move, so he braked later than perhaps he normally would, and was a little bit hot on the exit of turn 4 and then just spun the car.
It can be really tough to kind of tell where you can brake, especially when the cars are cold at the beginning of the race.
So here we are, Ping, Morris, and Sheehan. Sheehan has a good weekend so far, the man from Texas. And he is in 3rd, Flores 4th, Fonseca in 5th, Bennett, Christensen 7th, Berg, Brown, and Castro rounding out the top 10. First weekend here for Andre Castro, doing a really good job. He's being looked after by Al Unser Jr., who was here in the booth just an hour ago. Wow, look at this racing at the front as well. Everybody battling for positions. Look at this.
Looks like Bryson Morris pulled out to make a move potentially in turn 1, but he looks like he backed out of it there. Look at this. The top 5, 6, 7, 8 cars basically nose to tail. That just shows you how close these drivers are.
Yeah, really good and a nice move by Christensen on the inside. Hasn't quite made it stick on the 76 of Fonseca, who closes the door and back down the straight they come. Can you get a draft, and how close do you have to be?
You can be within about 3/4 of a second. That's where I've noticed it kind of the most. But yes, these drivers are absolutely getting the effects of the draft. However, when the guy in front of you is also drafting on the car in front, then essentially negates your draft. And it looks like Bryson Morris also pulled out a move going into turn 4, but couldn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, it looks as though he's settled for second place. No shenanigans there. And he's now looking up the inside. This would be bold.
Yeah, Bryson Morris is all over the rear wing of Noah Ping. But again, the car behind is right there on Bryson Morris. Ryan Sheehan is there to capitalize in case Bryson Morris puts a wheel out of line.
Jason, what's the biggest thing you learn in F4?
I would say that the biggest thing is the braking, honestly.
Yeah.
It's so far different from anything that I'm familiar with, especially in karting, where you tend to carry the brakes kind of into the corner. And these Formula 4 cars, you brake very hard initially, but then you bleed off the brakes as you approach those corners. It can be very tricky.
Good to know. So, karters out there, if you're listening, that's what you need to learn. So, Noah Ping leading the way at the moment. And Morris in second place, already a winner this weekend. Bryson, and the man from Nashville, Tennessee. And Sheehan from Texas in third. So it's no change at the front, but if anything, the lead pair just slightly pulling ahead of Sheehan. But Morris really wants by quick, doesn't he? And again, another move by the 45. Christensen likes that move on the inside. He didn't get it done last time. Can he do it this time? Not quite. And again, these two going at it. Fonseca good at closing the door and getting the drive.
Looks like Fonseca dipped 2 wheels off the exit there. I have a feeling that Christensen might be able to capitalize on that into turn 4. Turn 2 is a very difficult place to pass. As you have that long straightaway after that, it's essentially a drag race to the apex of turn 4.
You're listening to Jason Alder. He'll be up in action in the FR Americas race in the 77. Where do you start?
We're starting P4 on the outside.
All right, looking forward to that. And there's Alex Berg. He's been doing some commentary as well, but the young Canadian, just 15 years of age, and had pole position for the second race, but it didn't all happen for him, unfortunately. He did well for the first 2 laps, and then he got into problems and had a suspension issue. And I don't know what caused it, but it wasn't what he needed, that's for sure.
I think Ryan also had an issue early on in that race
yeah,
as well.
He's
got to be happy to be up in the podium spots right now.
Well, the Crosslink boys have fettled that car and got it all together. Mo, his engineer, I'm sure was working hard to get it right. And again, they come out of the carousel. Look in the mirrors from Ping, but he doesn't really need to look because he's going to get a face full of grey cars coming at him, 39 and 66. Flores, 22, is right there too, as is Bennett. Berg, up to 6 now, ahead of Fonseca. Christensen still 8.
Ryan's looking to the inside of Bryson Morris here, thinks twice about it. Oh my goodness, this racing is so close. It looks like the biggest gap within the top 15 cars. It doesn't span over a second between any of those two. This is one of the closest races I've seen in recent times in F4.
I was about to say, that's another thing it teaches you is how to race fast at close quarters and not be intimidated and know where your limits are, right?
That can be very tricky, but yes, absolutely, especially when there's cars behind, there's cars in front. You don't know where some cars can be at times.
How about that for a move?
Oh my goodness.
That is textbook stuff. Nicely done, a la Sato from a couple of years ago in Indy. But that is a move you can make at turn 4. Use the camber, get up the inside, make a block pass, and the next is a left-hander. And if you can keep it hanged in there all the way around that left-hander and down that hill, you can take the lead. And that's exactly what Bryson Morris has done. Textbook racing.
What a brilliant move, and what a good set of corners in the infield. Looks like he stretched a lead out, actually, and that is a rare thing to see so far in this race. So if I'm Noah Ping, I'm thinking about all I have to do to hit a couple of these corners right and make sure that the car behind can't get around me. Here's the move for the lead.
Jason, you see what you just see.
Wow, look at that. Well, honestly, like you said, textbook move by Bryson Morris.
You know
that
what?
was a full send on the outside. Yeah, he tried. He was there, but just wasn't quite enough.
Well, unfortunately, Ryan Sheehan had a situation in race 2 where he did exactly the same thing, almost pulled it off, and then got beaten up effectively by the fact that he didn't pull it off at the end. And unfortunately, a little bit of debris coming out of one of the cars there. I don't know what that was. But it knocked Sheehan out of the race in race 2 and dropped him right back. There's Berg in the middle of that green.
There's Andre Castro. He has not had the best of races so far, but I think it is incredible qualifying on pole in your debut weekend.
Now, we got a full course yellow, and I think we know the reason why. Let's find out, and we'll see it from the drone. And yep, there you go. Excellent stuff. That's the advantage of having the drone. We don't miss a thing. Excellent stuff. Just in front of the carousel there. So that's that's just by our commentary booth, or not far from. But that brings out a full course yellow. And everything settles down now. You catch your breath, I suppose, both mentally and physically.
Yes, absolutely. It's very important when you have moments like this to take advantage of that and kind of just rest your hands a little bit, take a couple of deep breaths, keep your heart rate as low as possible, and just focus on keeping heat in the car for when we go green again.
And physically, is there anything you can do to help your own physicality? Can you move about a bit or relax a little bit? Or are you just there's Al Unser Jr.? And is it his car? It could well be. Could it be Castro that's gone off, I wonder?
Oh, actually, I think Andre Castro just drove by. But you know who I did not see? I did not see the green car of Fonseca.
Ah, good point. Yes, and he's disappeared. You're right. Absolutely. Fonseca is the man.
What a shame for him. He was having such a good race so far.
Okay, but he has got going again, I'm glad to say, so he doesn't need to be looked after by the trucks. But he will recover, Fonseca in the 76, back to the back of the group. We'll see now. Now, what's going on here with one of the J. Howe development cars? He's got a lot of plastic hanging off the car there for a moment.
I see that. It's damage to the front wing with a lot of plastic. I wonder if he hit one of the brake boards somewhere.
One of the boards. Yeah, good point. Well, there is Fonseca. And, yeah, Fonseca has done a couple of seasons in F4, but yeah, that is not how he wanted to end his weekend, and he got a good start as well. So Gabriel Fonseca from Sao Paulo, Brazil. We've had a few good drivers over the years from that part of the world. He says with tongue-in-cheek, because there's been thousands of great drivers from that part of the world, especially in the junior categories over the years. But of course, we all remember the names of the likes of Ruben Barrichello and of course the Ayrton Senna. Now, let's have a look at what's happened to this car, because there was some plastic hanging off the car. There's the broken wing. You can see the side end plate on the right-hand side of that car number 6. And how will that affect him? And that's Hughes we're talking about now. And there's that plastic. So, yeah, I think he's picked up a hoarding as well as taking a bit off the front wing. So, Lockie Hughes there, the championship leader, in trouble.
I think if I were him, I'd be a little bit worried, as if that falls off of the suspension, that's going to go right over top of either the radiator or the oil cooler, which would not be good. That actually could warrant coming in for a pit stop, assuming it moves out of that position.
Well, he's down in 16th place, so there's not a lot to be gained. He can't gain that many places, I wouldn't have thought, and especially with that damaged wing. And it won't take long to put a new wing on, but you risk that in a pit stop, and, well, we're under caution. Yeah, interesting. We'll see what happens here.
And for Fonseca especially, Mid-Ohio is notoriously difficult to pass at. I know in FR it's extremely difficult, but even when I was here in F4 last year, it was a tough place to pass at.
Does that change your game plan a little bit, knowing that? Because, you know, if it's that much harder, do you sometimes settle for just, you know, position rather than trying to be too aggressive and failing?
I think it depends on kind of where you are on the racetrack. If you're in 22nd, then yes, because essentially it would be very a point scoring position. But if you're in the front, especially if you're a championship contender, I mean, those 3 points for that pass could be the difference between winning or losing the championship. So if it's in the coming stages of the race and there's an opportunity that kind of presents itself, you have to capitalize on that.
Good point. So we're under caution here in our final F4 race of the weekend. Jason Alder joining me, Jonathan Green, as we take a look at these youngsters coming through. And we've had some great success over the years, those that have gone on. Hunter Yaney, an F4 champion. He then went on to FR. He's now racing in FIA F3. And obviously we've got people like Kyle Kirkwood, a former champion in both F4 and FR, and now going on to IndyCars. So do you keep an eye on those guys that have gone through the same ranks as you have and see how they're achieving and what they're doing and how they go about their business?
Absolutely. I remember when I visited the racetrack for the first time back in 2020. It was at VIR, and I saw Linus Lundqvist winning all 3 races. And now I see him doing pretty much the exact same thing in Indy Lights. I know I watched him all last year, but absolutely watching David Malukas and Kyle Kirkwood in IndyCar is nothing short of incredible, because I know that me as well as a lot of the drivers in this field could follow in those footsteps. Yeah,
Bjarne Pedersen, another one. We've had some really good Swedes and Danes over the years. There's Hughes again, and he's staying out there for now. And let's see what happens in the restart of this one. The lights off on the safety car. Now, how far away from the safety car do you need to be able to see those lights, I wonder?
That's a good question. You can see them from pretty far away,
Okay,
I would say.
So everybody trying to get up to speed, get those tyres up to grip as they come through Thunder Valley. We'll get a restart here. Morris leading Ping, Sheehan third, Flores, Berg and Bennett. Watch for Berg in the 08. He's up to 5th already. He's disappointed after having pole position and not being able to capitalise on it. And so Berg's definitely got the bit between his teeth. Bryson Morris, though, already a winner this weekend, so he knows what to do at the restart. But Ping is going to be all over him.
I know Bryson Morris, if I were him right now, I'm thinking about the earliest point at which I can go full throttle without the cars behind being able to do the same.
Right. And away he goes then. Yep, and he slings straightly to the inside to defend that position. Now back on the race line. That was a good restart, a smart restart too, because it really didn't give Ping any opportunity to dive bomb him, and that opportunity may come. But again, Morris is wise to it. He's weaving from side to side, and that really is just tactical to make sure that Ping can't make a dive up the inside and leave it to the keyhole at least. A side-by-side action here as the number 4 of Brown goes side-by-side with Alex Berg and Bennett, excuse me.
Looks like Morris and Ping had very good restarts. The gap to Sheehan opened up quite a bit after that restart.
Now Sheehan's under pressure now from the 22 of Flores. Arturo Flores. And here are the leaders, and just holding on, Bryson Morris for now. But look at this, side by side again. Flores just getting through in the Flexi-sponsored number 22.
Flores is actually going to keep that position there.
Alex Berg fancies his chances around the outside. Can't quite do it, the Canadian.
What an incredible race for Arturo Flores. He might be on for his maiden F4 podium.
Yes, that would be impressive. But boy, what's really impressing me right now is how close all of them are. Look at this group of 5 cars below us. Fantastic. There go the leaders. They've got a nice gap now.
Oh,
no! And another spin. 2-car spin.
Oh, no, that's Alex Berg.
And that is Alex Berg.
In the wall.
What a disaster. I feel for him. He's had a rotten weekend in many ways. And he, of course, was one of the championship contenders coming into Mid-Ohio. He's got the car going again, so no major damage. But I think the suspension is out of whack. Yeah, he's done. He's done. Absolutely done. He manages to grab back to the pit lane, but that's not going to help him at all.
What a shame seeing that. Oh, he was having such a strong weekend, such a fast car, but just unfortunately, it just didn't go his way.
Jason, take another look at it.
Oh, that's a tough call.
Yeah, it's weird how Berg, he just hit the grass on his own. He wasn't like he was affected by that. I think he was racing hard and maybe too hard, but there you can see how badly damaged that suspension is. What a shame.
I don't think I saw any kind of contact between any of the cars through turn 11 there. So the fact that we saw 2 spinning, I wonder if something was on the racetrack. I wonder if the racetrack was a little bit dirty, perhaps, because I know in my FR race, there's a lot of dirt that gets spit up there.
He's not happy. Oh well, that's racing, folks. And as you can see, Tony Garcia zooming right in on the action and showing us exactly what has gone wrong with that car. But Alex Berg is down and out, sadly. But back to the action. And it's fast and furious at the front as they come into the carousel again, and absolutely nothing between the 2 leaders who pulled away from Sheehan in 3rd place, who's got back up to 3rd place, but he's got damage too. Oh, if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any.
I think that's definitely the nail in the coffin for his chances of winning this race. It looks like it's going to be a shootout between Morris and Ping with only 5 minutes to go.
I think you're absolutely right. 5 minutes less than to go, and it is going to be a battle for the podium, as sure, because Ryan Sheehan is not going to be able to hold on without that wing down the back straight. Here they come to the keyhole. You'll see exactly what I mean. The leader's already on that back straight, and they're looking in their mirrors. Is Morris. Ping coming at him, very strong indeed, and he's going to try to take the lead here at the end of the straight. But let's watch 3rd place as well, because Ryan Sheehan has got a damaged wing, and he can't hold the rest of the field off. Whoa, big dive from Ping. Can't quite do it, though, but he tried to intimidate Morris into a mistake. And they'll have a couple more laps to do this dogfight, which has gone on through the last few laps. And I wonder if Sheehan's still there in 3rd place, I wonder. 2 seconds behind. No. Yes, he's still there. He's done a good job.
He has done a great job trying to keep that car as fast as possible with that damaged front wing. It's going to be really interesting to see if Flores can get that 3rd place position back from Ryan Sheehan to get his maiden podium.
So here we go, the leaders coming through. Now take a look at the wing of third place. Ryan Sheehan really struggling, but can Arturo Flores, well, he's got his own work to do because he's being chased hard by the Rising Stars racing car of Andre Castro in his first weekend of Formula 4. He usually does USF Junior racing, but Sheehan doing a good job because that car can't be easy to drive.
It definitely cannot, and he's actually pulling away a little bit from Flores. I'm sure he has his mirrors full, but it looks like actually Matt Christensen is making a move potentially on the 8 of Andre Castro into turn 2.
Yeah, they're side by side coming into the Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers keyhole.
Oh, no!
No! And sadly, Castro goes off. And, well, that battle was going to end in tears. He got hung out to dry on the outside, tried to keep his foot in, but that led to him going wide. And now he's lost several places, and that's just a real shame.
Oh, what a bummer to see.
Now, I would have thought that Al Unser will be on the radio.
Oh, we're side by side for the lead.
Whoa, look at this. Fantastic racing. Bryson Morris and Noah Ping. But Noah Ping in the 65 has finally made it stick and takes the lead. But for how long? Will Ping hold it or will Morris come back? They're coming in to the Thunder Valley right now. And luckily for Morris, he hasn't lost too much ground. But that was a good overtake.
Was a very good move by the 65 of Noah Ping to get that front position. It's going to be all in Bryson Morris now. There's only 1 or 2 laps to go, so Bryson Morris is going to have to capitalize and drive to his absolute limits.
It'll be white flag next time round, and Sheehan doing a miraculous job here in third position. He's still holding off Flores. Castro's gone off. Christensen's now coming at him. So there's still plenty to come. Let's take another look. And here we go. What did Castro do anything wrong? No, they touched. That's
just
what
a little bit of
wrong.
contact. Yeah, it looks like Matt probably had a little bit of understeer on the exit of the corner and just had nowhere to go, and unfortunately squeezed Andre off the road. That's a real bummer to see.
Would the stewards have anything to say about that?
Potentially, yes. You really shouldn't be doing something like that, especially when Andre was as far up as he was in that corner. I don't think he should have backed out there. I would say that Matt maybe should have backed off a little bit, given Andre a little bit more room. Oh, we have a spin.
Whoa, another spin. And that's
Flores. Oh, what a bummer.
So it goes from bad to worse for the Flexi sponsor number 22. And he's right in the middle of the track too, and that doesn't help. That's a scary place to be.
It sure is.
So Flores with those dirty tyres as well, that could be a factor in this because he's gone off into the dirt there. Let's have a look at it, Jason. Here come the leaders. And then you'll see just behind. There we go. Yeah, all on his own.
Yeah. Typically when I see stuff like this, although there was no contact, typically that is made to avoid contact with the car on the outside. It looks like he went for a potential move on the car in front, but realized he didn't have enough, and in order to prevent contact, he just had to brake again, and that sent the car around.
White flag is out on this one, so we've got 1 lap to go, and it's a cracking finish to this. At the moment, Noah Ping pulling away in the lead. Ryan Sheehan in third place, doing a really good job in the 66. And he is going to hold on to third place, which is going to be a great result. I know his dad well. He'll be delighted with that. Ryan in his second season of Formula 4. The man from Horseshoe Bay, just outside Austin, Texas. Went to a Formula 1 race a few years ago. Saw what he liked and said, I want to have a go at that. And here we are, just a couple of years later, and he's doing the real thing. He put some great sponsors together locally. They've worked really hard in the Austin area. I just happen to know that because I live in Austin, so I'm well aware of how hard Ryan Sheehan and his team are working to stay on this grid and stay in the hunt to be a professional racing driver. But Noah Ping is doing the business, and I would have said he's comfortable. He's got a, 3-car length lead as he comes down into Thunder Valley. And Jason Alder, this has been a good performance. He chose his moment, chose it right, and he's taken advantage.
Yeah, Noah Ping really did a perfect job there. There was a lot of pressure from behind. He had to make some moves in order to get to the front, and he did it and pulled away from Bryson Morris just enough so where he couldn't get in the draft to make a move into turn 4 on this last lap. But it looks like Noah Ping will be your race winner in race 3.
Brilliant stuff then. Noah Ping wins at Mid-Ohio, takes victory over Bryson Morris, who had led for some time. Ryan Sheehan takes third place with a damaged front wing and a miraculous job done. Christensen takes fourth place. Isambard takes 5th. Carrera, his best result of the weekend. The Argentinian taking 6th place. And Lockie Hughes recovers well despite the damage to his wing and takes 7th place ahead of Castro in 8th. Boland 9th. Brown in 10th. And that was a good race. Some good racecraft, some good comebacks, and some good racing under pressure as well.
Definitely. There were a lot of good moves there, a lot of respect between these drivers. I really like how we only saw that one yellow that we had. That's very nice to see. You know, one thing that we didn't talk about was International Motorsport just had a 5th and 6th finish. Yeah. That might be their best result in terms of a double result of the year. That's very good to see for them.
That is very good. You're absolutely right. Good call. But good racing all the way through, and especially by Noah Ping. VRD, Dan Mitchell will be pleased with that. He, of course, the Englishman who runs the team. And VRD have put together an excellent run. They were the ones that run Hunter Yaney, of course, and they've always had some very good drivers and some good development within their ranks.
Yes, indeed. I know I had a blast driving for them last year.
Here we go, side-by-side stuff. This is where Noah Ping took advantage, and he did it with style too. Look, waited for the braking point, had the inside line, kept his foot in, and that's where he took the advantage by staying fast, and then he'll have the inside run. And that is excellent racing. That really is. That's not easy to do when you're wheel-to-wheel like that, and that's a tricky part, that Minhar circuit, probably the hardest part of the track to go racing.
Certainly. Going side by side through madness is definitely tough, and Bryson Morris did a great job. Noah Ping did a great job, and it was side by side all the way from turn 4 through turn 5 into turn 6, but Noah Ping just had just enough to stay out in front of Bryson Morris.
Well, that should inspire you for a move at turn 4. I'll be waiting.
Absolutely.
Well, I've got Ryan coming in here to talk through your race, so that'll be fun to talk to because he knows all about that, having tried it twice. It didn't come off in race 2, but it did come off for him in race 3 because he's got a podium. Well, while we take a breath, let's take a look at some of the highlights from our F4 Race 3. And at the start, it was side-by-side action right from the get-go. And sadly, Lockie Hughes going off on his own at the exit of turn 4, just a little too hot. Hits the grass, and that's where it all ended. Fonseca in a great battle. And the 45 also going very well. That's Matt Christensen. But he got tight at the front. Very tight indeed, as Bryson Morrison had the lead. Bryson Morris had a win already this weekend. And then 2 spins there going round. Berg involved in that one. Alex Berg. And then more battles going on, and that was Castro going off, but he was actually taken out a little bit by Christensen. And then right at the end, Noah Ping taking the lead away. And once he got that lead, he never looked back, and that was brilliant stuff by him. He wins, Noah Ping. Let's head down to our man, Ben Sissel, who's going to talk to our winner, Ping. In fact, it's John Phippen, of course, the series commentator and the man, of course, who looks after Mid-Ohio as well. So let's head down to John Phippen, who's going to talk to our man, Noah Ping.
Noah Ping getting a well-deserved sip of water and his hat. Noah Ping, what an exciting race it was. A great start. You took the lead early. Bryson got by you, and then you were able to pay him back at the closing stages.
Yeah, definitely. It was an up-and-down race. It was a bit crazy. I don't know what happened to Lockie there at the start, but I think he lost it. We made a little bit of contact when he spun back on the track, but luckily the car was okay. And then, yeah, Bryson got by me. I think I was a little bit in my head because of the contact. But it actually ended up getting like a little wet in the keyhole when I got the pass. So he ended up out-braking himself in the wet, and I kind of like waited for the car and then got back to power and was able to pass him on the inside.
Congratulations on your second win on the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Noah Ping, your winner, Jonathan.
Great stuff, John. And, yeah, nice words from the VRD racer. And, yep, got in his head a little bit. And, Jason, you know what that means. It basically he got him rattled, didn't he?
Did, absolutely. It can be really difficult, especially when there's something like that. Seeing a car spin right in front of you can definitely, get in your mind, and especially when there's pressure from behind, and now you're the new leader all of a sudden. When you weren't thinking about making a move or something like that, it can be very difficult to focus on hitting your marks.
Well, listen, Jason, I know you need to get back to your team and start preparing yourself for your race. I know there's about an hour to it, so I'll let you go and prepare. We'll be watching fourth on the grid, car number 77. You can't miss him. I've still got the hat at home you gave me from last year or 2 years ago, so I will treasure that and make sure I keep watching you. For your socials, hang out, tell us everybody how to follow you.
You can follow me at I am Jason Alder on pretty much every form of social media, so please head over there. We have awesome content, and please also go to Drive for Diabetes Awareness. Check out their setup there, and if you're on social media, check out Drive for Diabetes Awareness on Instagram and Facebook.
Good words, and if you keep in touch, you might send you a hat. Thanks, Jason. Best of luck in your race 3. We'll take a short break here from Mid-Ohio. We'll be back with more action very soon. In fact, we're going to take a short break.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.